What's up, y'all? Shadypeach here, and in today's video we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We are going to be doing an opening, but we are going to go ahead in this video and showcase our entire PSA 10 collection of Lorcana Enchanteds and promos. It's not going to be too long of a video that sounds like it's intimidating, but it'll actually go by pretty quick. And then at the very end, after we're done going through each of our slabs, we are going to go ahead and open up a Lilo and Stitch gift box. So to kind of show you guys a little bit more of what I'm talking about, let me go ahead and switch perspectives. So I have various piles here of our PSA collection. So as of today, this is where we stand with our PSA 10s. So these are all 10s except for one card, and I'll get to that. That'll be at the very end. But these are all 10s for the most part. And they're all organized into different piles. Guys can probably figure it out. So how it works is this is sets 1 through 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's kind of funny which one is the tallest. I don't know if it shows up very well on camera, but there's a significant number of ones from set 3, and just because set 3 was so overprinted. And then these are prize cards up here. So I'm just going to go ahead and go through each of them. I like that this is a way I can kind of catalog and document where I stand at the date of me filming this with my PSAs. And also I can just show off my PSAs. And so hopefully you guys just like the artwork of Enchanteds, because that's going to be most of this video. So still as of today, the only first chapter Enchanted PSA 10 that I have is Mickey Mouse Artful Rogue, which is one of the bottom tier of Enchanteds in the first chapter. But we pulled this guy. So that's also what I was going to say, is a lot of these cards are pulled, but some of them are purchased and some of them are re-cracked and resubmitted, and then we got 10s. So, but this is one of the, I think this is the third or fourth Enchanted we ever pulled on the channel. So has a special place in my heart. I love that it's a Mickey Mouse, but unfortunately it's the cheaper Mickey Mouse of the two that are in the first chapter. When it comes to the second set, Rise of the Floodborne, we have several. So we have Snow White. This is one that we purchased not too long ago. So I'm just going to kind of go through these a little bit slowly in case you guys want to take the time to look at the art. Nothing too crazy. A little bit of a different video from my normal format. After that, we have Lady Tremaine. So I did pull this on the channel. I submitted it and I got a 9. I resubmitted it after I cracked it and I got a 10. So I would definitely recommend, if you guys get 9s, try, if you have several 9s, try cracking a few of those bad boys if you want to try to be ambitious. And you might be surprised. You might be able to squeak by and get a 10. So as Lady Tremaine, very meta-defining card for the time. After that, we have Sisu. Astute followers of my channel will know this is the first Enchanted we ever pulled. A very underwhelming Enchanted. We pulled it from a gift box, or the Disney 100 gift set in for Rise of the Floodborne. That was like our second or third video for Lorcana, and we already hit one. It was pretty crazy. These things are easy to collect dust, that's for sure. All right. Then after that, we have Namari. I did manage to actually get 2 of these. I sold the other one off because I don't need 2 PSA 10 Namaris. Also, I like to point out she is a princess, and the princess tax is real. So these are things that I feel like I will always hold on to, because I think that slabs sealed product, both of those have the potential for a lot of long-term capital. Right here we have Pete. We got him from Collecticon through a crazy trade that we did from some of our old Yu-Gi-Oh cards. He's not really worth a whole lot. He's definitely the cheapest out of all of the Rise of the Floodborne ones. And then we have Madam, I almost said Lady Tremaine. We have Madam Mim, also from the second chapter. All right. So now we'll go ahead and go to the bulk of our PSA 10s. So first up, we have Cusco's Palace. Everybody's favorite. There's going to be a lot of locations in here, for sure, because this is the set that introduced them. Then we have Captain Hook. Boop. After that, we have Ursula, Deceiver of All. This is one of my most prized possessions. This was probably the best booster box I had ever opened because we got like 6 legendaries, one of them foil, and the Ursula Enchanted, which at the time was the most popular Enchanted just because it has the misprint of Storyborn and people were going nuts over it. So I was very stoked about that. After that, we have Maleficent. This is one that we also purchased. I would say it's a very underwhelming Maleficent, just because her effect isn't that great. But I'm very hopeful that the Maleficent Dragon Enchanted will eventually grade a 10 for us when we eventually win one, because we really want the Maleficent Dragon. After that, we have Chernabog. This card is definitely going up in value right now, just because Chernadogs are very much becoming a thing in the new set. Then we have RLS Legacy. I think the locations are just eye candy for the most part. Not a lot of the ones that have enchanteds of them are actually all that great. Case in point, we have Belle's House, which is probably the cheapest enchanted in this set. But I just wanted to buy it so that way I can knock it out. Because if you think about it, enchanteds are 1 in 96. And then the odds of also getting a 10 are very slim. So sometimes finding something as niche as a Belle's House and also grading a 10 for it is more valuable than people will price it for on eBay. So I want my overall long-term goal is to have PSA 10s of every enchanted in sets 1 through 5. Not 6, we know why for not 6, just because of the enchanted artwork in that one. 7 does look pretty cool, but I try to set limits. I think sets 1 through 5 is plenty. That's quite a lot already. Next up, we have Kita, Protector of Atlantis. Then we have Morph Space Goo. You guys know this is the latest enchanted that we just pulled. This isn't that one. This isn't the one that we just hit. I purchased this one a long time ago. The other enchanted that we pulled recently as a morph will be sold. And I will very much disclaim that it does have a little ding in the corner. After that, we have Scrooge McDuck. Pulled this guy in a double box opening way back in the day. And then to finish off set 3, we have Grandma Tala. All right. Next up, for set 4, we have the Snuggly Duckling. So Ursula's Return has very interesting art style when it comes to enchanteds. They have like a very interesting like void of darkness that kind of creeps in off the sides in a lot of their enchanteds, or it'll be the entire background. So we have Ariel's Grotto. This is like another Belle's House situation. I just wanted to buy it because it's so niche. Then we have the Queen Diviner. This one I won in an auction. There's a lot of really good auctions out there for niche enchanteds where you can kind of sneak through and pay very much under value. This one is probably one of the more expensive ones that I have. We have Diablo. So I traded away a PSA 10 Toon World for this guy and Pete's Bad Guy Enchanted. Both of them 10s. And I don't think I regret it. It's one of those things where I know PSA 10 Toon World is hard to come by, but I think my heart and soul is now in Lorcana and it's left to Yu-Gi-Oh for the most part. I still have a lot of other PSA Yu-Gi-Oh slabs that I'm never getting rid of, but that one I was like, yeah, sure, take it. After that, we have Sisu, Empowered Sibling. Man, it's really easy to like get scuffs on these things. Very meta-defining card. And then last but not least, we have Super Goof. Also right now, well, I don't know about right now, but it was a meta-defining card in DKP's deck. All right, so that's set 4. Now we go on to set 5. First up, we have our chase for set 5, Vanellope Von Schweetz. Never pulled it, unfortunately. I had to buy this, but, you know, it is what it is. Like I said, 1 in 96, and the odds of getting a 10 were very slim. So we got Vanellope Von Schweetz, best character in the game. And then we have Robin Hood. I had to buy this just because it is beautiful artwork. I bought this a while ago before it shot up recently. And it's actually a pretty good effect. I feel like that this card could make waves in after the rotation. All right. After that, we have Donald Duck. amazing Mickey Mouse-esque character. I'd say this is probably the best Donald Duck Enchanted. Maybe the Sorcerer one that just came out might give it a run for its money, but I like this one a little bit more. After that, we have the first Enchanted that we pulled for Shimmering Skies. We have Snow White. Again, Princess tax. Anytime you have something that says Princess, it's going to be very coveted, I feel like, in the future. Yeah, a lot of these are going to be very long-term investments. And finally, we have Badanon. A very pretty looking location, but very underused card. I've never seen anyone ever play it, and that's probably for a good reason. All right, so that's sets 1 through 5. That's everything we have so far for those. Now we have our prize cards. So first up, we have our Ursula's Return. We have Mirabelle Madrigal. So both of these I purchased. I did not do well in both of these set champs. I did well for Stitch, and I did well for Scar, and just recently, you guys know, I did well for Hiro Hamada. But these two set champs, I got my butt kicked. I got destroyed. So I didn't want these to slip away, so I went ahead and purchased both of them. And then speaking of Stitch, he is our other PSA 10. This is probably, arguably, one of the most prized cards I have. It's not the most expensive. That's going to be over here. This is definitely in that category just because the memory of winning my very first PSA 10 set champ card was just insane. Like, I was not expecting it. I knew this card was going to be valuable for the entirety of the life of this game just because it's the very first set champ and it's a PSA 10. I've heard people that won like 5 or 6 of these. They submitted all of them to PSA and none of them got 10s. I got 1. I just barely got 1, and it was a crazy grueling match or tournament, and I managed to get a 10. So forever grateful that I was able to get this guy. Whew. As I drop him. All right, and then we have our DLC participant and prize cards. So let me see, what's the first one? Yeah. So first one, we have our Dragonfire. This is something that's not crazy valuable. I just wanted to get a 10 for it to kind of commemorate and make sure I have the full set of the DLC cards. And I'm going to plan to frame them all up. So this is a card like maybe like less than $200. So very cheap, and I wouldn't even say it's an enchanted. It's a promo, DLC promo. Then after that, we have, I think, the prettiest one of all. We have Let It Go. We have a PSA 10 of that. This is for getting, and I earned all these, by the way. These ones right here, I earned. I did not purchase these. I could not purchase these. They're way too expensive. So we have the DLC Let It Go. I got this in Vegas for getting the top 128. Then you guys know we have the PSA 10 Cinderella Stout-Hearted. This was for getting the top 64. A feat that I never thought possible. This is kind of on par with Stitch, I feel like. This is one of my most coveted cards. And I would say the most valuable card I have, while also being the biggest tragedy of a card that I have, would be the Rapunzel Gifted with Healing. This is the PSA 9. This was the biggest bummer because I earned this for getting in the top 32 in DLC Vegas, and we got a 9. That broke my heart, but I looked it up and 9s are still worth quite a bit. It's still ridiculously hard to come across this. I'm pretty sure that this was a one and done after these DLCs. I think the next wave of DLCs will not have the same prize cards. So it's one of those things where I've definitely been told I should crack it and resubmit. I'm kind of biding my time on that, but I suppose that would be a good idea. So I've definitely been toying with that idea. But yeah, this is definitely the most valuable thing I have. Last time I looked, it was like about $3 grand just for this as a PSA 9. I can only imagine PSA 10, but not too many of these sell. So it's kind of hard to really make that kind of distinction. So those are our DLC prize cards. Again, I won these at DLC Vegas. It was the only DLC I went to, and I kind of regret that because I did a lot better than I thought I would. So we will definitely be framing these up at some point. All right, so that is our PSA 10 collection. Again, Rapunzel's the only one that's actually a 9. So to go ahead and cap off this video, I know I've just been, I didn't mean for this to be like a brag fest. I just wanted to show you guys the collection just because I appreciate the artwork and I figured you guys might too. So to kind of cap it off, we'll go ahead and open up a Lilo and Stitch gift box. And let's see if we can get lucky. I have to say, I have not done too well with these gift boxes, but there was a guy recently on Reddit who opened up one of these and pulled 2 enchanteds. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. And then I have friends that have pulled enchanteds from these things. I have not gotten that lucky. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But, you know, I'm not expecting much. So there's our Lilo and Stitch card. I think the movie Lilo and Stitch just came out as I'm filming and recording this, like, day of. So it looks like we have Shimmering Skies, double Ursula's Return. Ooh, okay, we do have a Floodborne. All right, very nice. So we'll go ahead and go in reverse order. So I'll start with Shimmering Skies, and we'll go backwards from there. Boom, boom. All right. So pack number 1. We have Medal of Heroes, Evil Comes Prepared, Night Howler Rage, White Rabbits, Healing Touch, Happy, Ludwig von Drake, Arthur, Finders Keepers, that's not too bad. We have Moana, we have an Elsa, the 5th Spirit, very nice, and a Lilo cake designer, or decorator. That's pretty good. We got a Finders Keepers and an Elsa. Not too shabby on one pack from Shimmering Skies. I will take it. All right. Now we'll go ahead and switch into Ursula's Return. Finders Keepers is a ridiculous card right now. So many people are running that in Ruby Amethyst. It is very, very good. All right, we got Luisa Madrigal, Pegasus, Olaf, Max, Fortisphere. We have Beast, Hades, Aladdin, Alma Madrigal, Hera, and a Tor. All right, nothing really useful in that one. Move all this. Okay. Another Ursula's Return. Let's see. One enchanted that I really do want to get at some point would be Aerial Sonic Warrior. Again, princess tax. People really value those princesses, so would be nice to get one of those. So we have Olaf, Max, Mulan, Fortisphere, Triton's Trident, Vision Slab, Sign the Scroll, Prince Philip, Ursula, and a Rapunzel. All right, Ursula's Return definitely was a little bit of a stinker there. Nothing too crazy, and that one had 2 packs. So let's see, maybe Inklands has something for us. Along Came Zeus, Robin Hood, any of those? Let's see, let's see. We have Billy Bones, Zazu, Lena Saberwing, McDuck Manor, Minnie Mouse, Patch, Last Ditch Effort, Tinkerbell, How Far I'll Go. That's a pretty good card. I'll put that to the side. It's a very useful staple. On Your Feet Now, Genie, and oh, actually, the lamp is being used right now in some purple steel decks, and it's a rare. So since it's a foil, I will put that to the side. It's not too bad. Not too bad. All right. Last pack magic. Let's see. Rise of the Floodborne. What you got for me? What you got? We have yet to pull the Cinderella Enchanted. Maybe today's the day. Maybe that'll change. Or maybe just a Beast Tragic Hero. Let's see. We got Pooh. We got Tigger. Donald Duck. Owl. And we're getting a lot of Winnie the Pooh characters. We have Tiana. Zero to Hero. Nick Wilde. You Can Fly. Cobra Bubbles. Falling Down the Rabbit Hole. And Improvise. All right. So, again, our Lilo and Stitch boxes have not really been too kind to us. I would say that's the most valuable things that we hit. No legendaries to be seen, but that's okay. We'll survive. We'll live to live another day. Die to live and not die another day. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to leave a like if you guys did enjoy. Be sure to subscribe, and I will catch you guys in the next one. All right.